Hello, welcome back to the Heated Bench. I'm your host, Devon Brocklehurst. I'm joined again by Alex this week. Alex, how are we?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, catching up on the sleep now from Sunday night where I stayed up to watch the NFL till 4 a.m, which was not a wise idea, but you got to support your team, haven't you, mate? So
Rather you than me, that is for sure.
Yeah, well, when it's more entertaining than professional football, or should we say soccer if you're in America, no, but it's going to lead on to my first topic, really, to be fair, because I want to talk about the Premier League this weekend and where the Premier League's heading to. So we'll touch on that in a minute, but we are also going to cover some who we think some of the bigger teams in the league should sign to try and improve. And then we're going to just touch on what's coming up in February, because there's quite a big bit of sport coming up and starting. So that's going to be sort of the categories for this week. But yeah, I want to start it off, Alex. Premier League. Is it me, or is the Premier League now becoming very dull to watch?
Yes and no. I think the Premier League has become very diluted, I think is the word, over the past couple of years. I think VAR's had a part in that. I also think home fans of the big clubs have had a part in that. Obviously, there's a lot of hospitality and a lot of tickets who aren't real fans, should we say, at these grounds. So, and then I'd also say another big factor is everybody tries to play like fucking Barcelona and Pep Guardiola, and they can't do it. So, people are trying to play like the same style of football. It's been nice. It has somewhat been nice, really, at the start of the year when Arsenal giving it a bit of a throwback, just getting the ball forward and getting the ball in the box, and they're winning games doing it. And other teams have copied it really this year. But no, I'll tell you what you're saying. There doesn't really seem to be much flair or things that get you off your seat in football now. You know, I can't really remember when was the last time somebody had like a 30-yard shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When was the last time somebody scored like a volley? Or somebody took like 5 players on and scored? Like it seems pass. Very repetitive to watch. I think we are coming a little bit away from it now. But no, I take your point.
I think from my perspective, like, I mean, we'll take this weekend's games, for example. All but, I think, 2 games were won by a single goal margin, maybe 3 if, so 2. I think, obviously United won 2-0, Chelsea won 2-0. I think the rest were either draws or 2-1s or 1-0s. I think the brand of football this season has become pretty awful to watch. Like you say, at the start of the season, there was a bit of a change-up with Arsenal, where they were playing this set-piece style of football, playing a bit more of like a direct route, not so free-flowing, and it was a breath of fresh air. It was a little bit of a throwback to football of the past.
I mean, it wasn't entertaining to watch, but it was different.
But it was effective. Yeah. Which is fair enough. Like we've said, it was something different, and teams like City, Liverpool had not really adapted to it at the start of the season. But now it seems to me that everybody just, and I hate this, I hate football in terms, but every team in that league plays a low block, and it's like because teams have been managed into this pep style of football now, like creativity in the Premier League is at an all-time low. You touched on it. When was the last time someone picked a ball up, took a man on and put it in the top bins from 30 yard? When was the last time a team played aggressive but dangerous football? You just don't see it. And then I watched the City United game at the weekend, and it's the first time, and I've moaned about it in previous episodes, It's the first time this season I've watched a game of football and gone, that was a good game of football. It was end to end. There was challenges flying in. It was fast paced. Both teams looked like scoring. Both teams looked like conceding. There was mistakes. There was bits of brilliance. Bruno looked fucking fantastic. United probably could have had 4 or 5 in the end. Probably should have had a red card as well in today's rules. But again, I'm quite happy to see it slide because of the way that the game played out. And I'm thinking, that's a proper rivalry game that we've been missing for a while.
Yeah, there's a lot as well these days on coaches and managers having a philosophy. What's your philosophy? What's your style of play? And it's like every manager has to have one, and they have to stick to it. Like Amarim, for example, right? He plays a 3-4-3, and that's his. And there seems to be, and this goes for a lot of managers, really. There seems to be no fluidity or no. Okay, that's not working. We'll change it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, we've got our way of playing, and we'll stick to that no matter what. Whereas, like, I'm thinking back to like Sir Alex Ferguson or Carlo Ancelotti, or even like Benitez at Liverpool. Like, they'd have principles, but they'd have also they'd adapt to different games. Like, look at like Rafa when he used to go to Chelsea away and have like 2 banks of 4
change the system,
change the system. But then he's not playing that at home to fucking Bournemouth or
Norwich,
whatever. But yeah, exactly. And it's the same with with Ancelotti or Sir Alex Ferguson. Like, they wouldn't go away to the Bernabeu and just have one style or one way of playing. Like,
I mean, I think Fergie's been on record, hasn't he, saying that the setup that he took to the new camp in the Champions League was like the wrong setup, and he wished he'd have done something else. And then he did it a year or so later, and I think they come away with a result. Like,
but then managers get criticised these days as well for then sending mixed messages and then changing systems, and then you need ex-players to have suit certain systems and certain ways of playing, which I think is a bit nonsense, really.
I think that comes with.
I think if you're a good enough player, you just adapt to any system and just, you know, you get the best out of yourself. You don't need a system or a manager to get you the best out of you. You do it yourself. You do it through hard work. You do it because you're a good player. And I just think there seems to be like a lot of hiding behind, this is the way we play it, and that's it, really. Why is there no adaptability? Surely you're going to play different. If you go into City away, you're going to play different how you're going to play Liverpool away or Palace or Spurs. Do you know what?
Yeah, I think there is. I think a lot of it comes with the pressure of like the wealth in the signings now as well. I think because such big numbers are thrown around, like these players are sort of expected to play every week. There's not many teams that you could not guess the starting 11 of pretty much every week. Especially with the top teams. But it just seems...
I completely get that, but like, I'm just more thinking of like, Klopp, for example, had like, he was all about gegenpressing and, you know, like winning the ball back quick and playing like this heavy metal football. But like, when he went to the new camp away or City away, like, yes, they're still going to implement elements of like style and bits of that into that game, but they're not just going to go all out press at City or Barcelona like they would probably like a lesser Premier League team at home when they can do that. So like, I completely appreciate, yes, you want a style of play and, you know, that's how you want to play football, but for me, like, there's got to be some form of adaptability and fluidity in managers. But like I say, everybody just wants to play the same way now and they can't. And the only clubs I really recognise who have a real identity of how they play is Barcelona and Ajax.
Yeah.
Because they're both from Johan Cruyff and total football and all that.
Yeah.
Other than that, every other team around the world should just have what suits them.
Yeah. You build a team around your players you've got, don't you? That's it.
Yeah.
And like you say, that's been sort of like Amarin's big downfall, that he's tried to play a system that obviously he hasn't got the players to suit, which we've touched on.
Well, it's not that as well, but it probably doesn't suit the league. It doesn't suit the team. It favours the opposition he plays against. And then he did try. He went to a back four one game. I think it was Newcastle at home, and he won the game, and then never did it again.
Yeah,
Cost
and then
him his job.
next week changes it again.
Exactly. Yeah.
That brings us on. Then let's speak about Manchester United. 2-0 win. Put my teeth back in. I'm struggling this week. 2-0 win at home to City. Looked pretty good in doing it. Are they back?
Well, if we play like that for the rest of the season, we'll definitely get Champions League. And I'm saying that purely on the basis of how poor everybody else is around the Champions League spots. And you know what? I'm going to include City, maybe even Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal obviously going to get top four, probably win the league, but everybody at the top just looks poor, really poor.
Yeah. I'd love to be able to argue back with you, to be fair, and tell you that you're fucking deluded and blah, blah, blah. But like you say, based on the way that everybody else is playing this season, if Man United can pick that form up and carry that level of play all season,
that's on the basis of how I'm looking at the other teams. Obviously, look, Carrick's only managed one game, so Arsenal away at the weekend, as tough as you get at the minute. So we'll see how he does there. But yeah, for the rest, for everybody around, Newcastle were on a bit of we're on a bit of a run. They've just dropped points to Wolves.
And they're awful away from home, though, aren't they?
Villa have just lost to Everton at home.
Yeah, poor result that.
So yeah, it's wide open. So look, if United can, and they only focus on the Premier League, don't they? They're out of all the other competitions. So you'd like to think that plays to their advantage. So we'll see. It was nice to just watch United and actually have a go.
Yeah.
They had a real go.
And to be fair, I think they can go to the Emirates and have a go this weekend as well.
We beat United, beat them there in the cup last year. So
yeah, and they're fucking shit up front. So that'll suit your defence. Yeah.
You've been getting some shit, haven't you, on Instagram this week? So let's just go on. Let's go on to that then.
Well, I've had obviously last week on the podcast, I threw some players' names out and said that I don't think Arsenal are great going forward. I think they're going to win the league based on everybody else being so poor. The weekend proved that to me once again. A 0-0 draw to a fucking poor Nottingham Forest side. And
just get Arsenal's stats for this year, their goal scoring stats, because I had a look the other day, and I'm sure Martinelli's their top goal scorer, and I think he's got maybe 2 goals in the Prem.
Yeah. So where's the transfer market? That's the best one to go on. So goals. So yeah, Martinelli is their top goal scorer this year with 9 goals. Gyökeres has 8. Saka and Trossard have 7 apiece. Eze and Marino have 5 apiece, and then there's a 4 from Gabriel, Rice and Zubamendi, 3 from Madueke and Timber, and then there's 1 from Ben White.
So everybody's just chipping in, aren't they, really?
So on the basis of it, this makes Arsenal a good football team, right? They're winning games with spread goals, which is fair enough. But at the same time, it backs my point up that I took so much shit for it this week, that they're fucking poor going forward. They're shit going forward.
It's I know they'll say they're top of the Prem and top of the Champions League, which is what they were saying in your comments.
Yeah, but then it goes again. Like, they go to the weekend, they play a poor Forest team that's conceding goals left, right, and centre.
They should have won that game. They had lots of chances.
And no one can put ball in the back of the net. Why?
No.
Gyökeres, shite. Martinelli, shite. Saka comes off the bench, non-existent. Madueke, shite.
It's like Saka just kept getting the ball and just kept crossing it in.
Mate, he's a myth. He's a myth. I've decided this season he's a myth. when he burst on the scene, had all the talent in the world, looked fantastic. And now he just fucking mopes around with that piss poor
He had
limb.
he had a couple of like really good seasons. And I say really loosely. I don't even think they were ever at world class level, but they were good. And you were like, if he kicks on here, he's going to be some player. I know he's had injuries, but he has gone backwards for me.
Yeah, it just.
And now he's become a bit of a target of like one of the top players, and teams are probably, identifying him as a big threat.
If I was a team going at Arsenal, right, going against Arsenal, I wouldn't be setting up to keep Saka quiet, not one bit. I wouldn't be.
Don't say Odegaard because he's a bit of a fraud.
Well, no,
as well.
but I would. I'd just be playing a defensive style of football. I wouldn't be targeting certain players in that Arsenal team. I just wouldn't. There's who do you target really? Like you say, Odegaard. I think Odegaard, when he's at the top, when he's playing at his top level, is fantastic, but he's not consistent enough for me. I got hammered. I got hammered by a couple of people in the comments, and to be fair, one of my friends that I speak to on Discord hammered me for saying that Zubimendi's shit. They reckon he's been unbelievable this season, but I don't watch their games religiously.
He's definitely not shit. He is good, and he does bring like a good element of control to them. But it's not his job. He's not going to win you a game going forward. So.
No, but no, I think I got quite a bit of satisfaction on Sunday after the Forest game, or Saturday evening after the Forest game, going back to the Instagram comments, and it seemed to be rather quiet. That no one clapped back when I asked them what had happened.
If they had a proper striker, they've got a good lead now. They could be 12, 13 points clear already.
Well,
that brings us quite nicely on, doesn't it, Dev?
It does, mate, because we have been talking this week about transfers in our friendship group, and we have put together a list of some of the top teams and some of the teams that are supported in our friendship group. And
yeah, we've not done every team because we don't really know the players and the teams who they've been linked with that well. So,
but yeah, so we're gonna
even these, to be honest,
are gonna be loose.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what we'll do is I'll call a team out. We'll give who we've wrote down, and then we'll obviously give a bit of a reasoning, and then have a discussion back and forward.
Okay.
So obviously finishing on Arsenal, let's start with them again. So I'll let you go first and see who you've put down.
I went Victor Osimhen.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
The reason why I went for him, they need a striker. Fucking hell. Just cut your losses and Gyökeres. He's shit.
Yeah.
He can barely control the ball. Cut your losses on him. Osimhen's at Galatasaray, so it's not like he's at a massive club like a Real Madrid or whatever, or Bayern Munich. He's 27, I think.
You're going to get a few good years out of him.
Yeah, I know he's going to be on big wages, and I get that, but if Osimhen was playing instead of Gyökeres this year, they'd have won the league by now.
Yeah,
I went Osimhen.
I don't hate it. I took a little bit of a different approach. I went for a left wing.
All right.
And I put two names down. I went Rafael Leao.
Oh, okay.
And I went Nico Williams.
Oh yeah. I don't mind them.
I think,
but I just think they're a bit similar to what they've got, like good wingers. But do they have a lot of end product? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it to a degree. My thought was just, I think Arsenal just really lack down the left-hand side. It's the one position on their team that changes weekly. And they don't seem to have anything set there. I mean, Martinelli, we mentioned it last week, Martinelli goes on a purple patch and he looks really good. Then he drops off. Trossard comes off the bench and scores a few goals, but he's got no consistent product.
Yeah, then he's back out into
And then he's back out, and then they might drop Madueke in there.
Well, I'm surprised they've never just put Eze on the left, Just tried him on the left.
Mate, I do not get what Arteta's doing with Eze. He scored a hat-trick and then hasn't played a game since.
Yeah.
It fucking
I
blew
don't know.
my mind, honestly. Sometimes it's just like managers do something to make themselves look better for me.
Yeah. You'd love to ask him about it, wouldn't you?
You
Like,
would, yeah.
he scored that trick, and you're like, now what's she thinking here, Mikel? Why have you not played him or started him or for 4 or 5 games? But yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's go Aston Villa.
Do you want to go first this time?
Yeah, I'll go first. I don't watch an awful lot of Villa, but what I think
Neither do
what I do think Villa struggle with is if Watkins is having a quiet game, they've got no real backup, especially now Marlon's just gone.
Okay. We could be on. I've got a striker as well.
Yeah, so I went out and said they should go and sign Brentford's Thiago.
Oh, we're close. I said Matete. I do think Matete's a bit more. He wouldn't go, but like Watkins just does not appear to be at the races this year, and I think he'd be like a proper threat. And Palace have been struggling this year.
Yeah,
and I just thought Mateta would be like a great addition, but it wouldn't happen, really, would it? That kind of signing.
No. But Mateta probably the sort of striker that would fit in well there as well. Holds the ball
definitely.
up, allows people like Morgan Rogers and Buendia and those sort of players to get in behind and do a bit. So yeah, I don't hate it. Chelsea. It's impossible with these because they sign 1 million players every year, but
yeah. Do you know what I was Chelsea? They really need I think all over the pitch, other than central midfield, they can improve. But I went the goalie, Mike Manningham from Milan.
fair enough. Well, I also went goalkeeper, but I went for James Trafford or Diogo Costa.
Okay.
Costa's
I mean Sanchez is he's had a few howlers this year.
Yeah.
Real. They look poor all around, really. Well, they don't. Like I say, Enzo and Caicedo and Palmer, when he's fit, if you and James, when that quarter are playing and in midfield, it's brilliant, but the rest of the team, could really.
I think losing Cole will damage them a bit at centre half as well. He looked really good at the start. But yeah, so Crystal Palace. I put Palace in here to do because obviously they've just lost Gay and they're probably going to need a new centre half to replace. So I actually went with centre half. I went Kivior from Arsenal.
I went a centre half and I went Nathan Ake.
Yeah, I think both are acceptable, like you say.
The problem with that though is City aren't going to lose a centre half in a minute because they are decimated at the back.
Yeah, and well, I went Kivior because I thought he's out of favour at Arsenal. He's going to really struggle to get in now. They've got obviously Saliba, Gabriel. Then they've got Mosquera and that Hincapié. Then they've got multiple choices with White and Timber.
Timber's played
Calafiori
well,
can play centre half as well. So I think they could probably go out and pick him up. Whilst he's not a fantastic player, he's a solid enough Premier League player where they could probably go out and pick him up for 20, 25 mil.
Yeah. Well, at the level Palace are at really currently, they have been struggling. He would be like a decent addition. Like, you're not going to kick on with him, are you? But like, as a stopgap in the meantime with Gay gone, then like you say, it's.
Everton.
I went Joshua Zirkzee.
Fair enough. I went quite speculative with this, but I went Nicholas Jackson. Yeah, they need a striker. I think that Barry has done an half-decent job for them.
Has he?
Well, I mean, he's scored some goals, and he's scored quite a few goals, I think. But
Everton have some shit strikers. To be fair,
losing Calvert-Lewin's killed them. To be fair,
Xerxes not playing for United. He's going to struggle to get in, especially now with Bruno playing further up. He was playing as like a front two and Bomo.
Yeah.
So I just thought he's not going to be playing. Everton need a striker, and to be honest, he was the first one I really thought of. He was just not playing. So
Yeah. Yeah, like you say, I don't hate it. I think it's a relatively good pick. Obviously, Tomo's a big Leeds fan, and he was the one that sort of wanted us to do this week, so we couldn't leave Leeds out, to be fair. So who did you go for Leeds?
Gran Larson.
Funny you should say that. So did I.
It's just the obvious. Just as like maybe as a bit of a backup or competition for Calvert-Lewin. I mean, Calvert-Lewin's got an injury in him, hasn't he? And,
Yeah.
you know, Wolves, they're either going to have to sell now or sell for a discounted fee when they go down. So
I know it's probably very unlikely that it would happen as well, but I did also put James McAtee in there from Forest.
Yeah.
I think McAtee's a pretty decent player that's not really getting any chance at Forest. He's not playing a great decent amount of games. He's coming off the bench a lot, and every time I've watched him, to be fair, he's looked half decent. So he could probably bolster their midfielder a little bit. Liverpool next. Fucking these cunts need a player all over the pitch at the minute. They're awful. But I think for me, the big one that they are crying out for is a centre half as well. Obviously, it was no secret that they were after Mark Gay. Obviously, they've lost out on that transfer now. Canate is a bit of a liability, and we've got no real backup. No real backup there. So, to be fair, I've put three players in there.
Go on then.
I put Bastoni.
That's who I've put down, Bastoni.
I put Schlotterbeck, and I put Van der Ven as well.
Yeah, I put Bastoni from Inter.
Yeah.
Young centre half. You could probably, the Serie A is not with the greatest respect to Inter Milan and Serie A. I think you could probably pick him up from there in that league at the minute.
Yeah, agreed. I would like Liverpool to go out and try and spend a bit of money on someone like Van der Ven. He has a bit of a mistake in him when he plays for Spurs, but I don't think he's helped by that Spurs team.
You want Liverpool to spend more money? Fucking crikey.
Well, you gotta spend to stay at the top, pal. But what I like about Van der Ven is obviously he's quick, and I think it's proven this season that that
he'd probably suit playing in a high line as opposed to playing around Spurs. It's a bit of a calamity minute Spurs. He would probably assure Liverpool up.
I think he'd really suit playing alongside Van Dijk as well. I think he probably would give Van Dijk a little bit of freedom in terms of he wouldn't have to drop so deep because he knew he'd have someone that's capable of covering for him.
Van der Ven is Dutch, isn't he?
Yeah. So they're national teams as well.
Connection. Yeah.
Obviously, City. I actually haven't put a player in for City because they've made two, obviously Semenyo and Gay, but I do think they need to sign a backup striker for Haaland.
All right. Well, I'm on a completely different wavelength to you.
Go on.
I've put two centre midfielders down because Rodri is fucking miles off it at the minute, and their two centre midfielders in the derby were Bernardo Silva and Foden.
Yeah.
Now, Bernardo's been a great player, but can't tell me Foden's a centre midfielder. So I put down Adam Wharton or Frankie de Jong.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I like the Wharton one. I actually was contemplating putting Wharton in for Liverpool. But yeah.
Liverpool have got quite a few options in midfield. They haven't been at the races this year, but yeah, Wharton will probably get a move this summer.
Manchester United.
Elliot Anderson could be in for a shout for City as well.
Yeah.
United, I've put three down here. Obviously being a United fan, and one is fucking way out there, but I don't care. I've put it down anyway. So I've put Belieber and De Jong again. Two players who would fit Man United. And then as like a bit of a wild card, I put Rafinha down. Not like there's any links or whatever to Rafinha, but
Yeah,
I think he's a great player, and he would suit the way Man United play massively. So
fair enough. I went for Murillo at centre half from Forest.
really?
Yeah, and I also put Mateta down. I think Mateta would suit United.
I mean, I don't hate Mateta. I don't think he massively improves United.
I think he's a bit of a proven goal scorer, though, isn't he? And he can do it in the Prem. And he might be the perfect sort of striker that can allow the likes of Cunha and Mbeumo to bomb on and go past.
Yeah, maybe. I don't
You
know.
say
I think
maybe, but you don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Man United we're in more need of positions elsewhere than I would say maybe say striker or scoring goals. We definitely need a midfielder.
Yeah.
Obviously Casemiro and Ugarte and Casemiro. Ugarte's horrendous. Casemiro's done well this year, to be fair, but he's only playing one game a week. So yeah, they need they do need a midfielder.
Fair enough. Newcastle United.
Jared Bowen.
I find it weird with Newcastle. I didn't really know what to pick here because they have Waltemada that's obviously looked half decent to start with and has fell off a cliff, and then they've got Wissa that has looked horrendous since coming back from this injury. But I think they've got two good potential strikers there, so I didn't go that sort of route.
Yeah.
I
Then, who did you go for?
think Newcastle are in dire need of a goalkeeper.
Right.
Nick
Go
Pope,
on, then.
and was a massive Nick Pope fan. I genuinely believe that if he'd have got the England call up a little bit earlier, he would have been England's number one. And I said it for a long time when he was at Burnley. I think it was Burnley, wasn't it? That he needed to move to the Premier League to get that England job, but obviously never got it. Injury prone, looks awful, massive mistake now. And then their backup is fucking
Ramsdale,
who's fucking awful. He's shite. So I went for either Henderson or Trafford again.
Yeah, Trafford won't be bad. I can't imagine Henderson going there. But
no,
the reason why I went Bowen was he can play across. Newcastle play like a 4-3-3, don't they? He can play across any of those front three roles. And Alanga has not been. I mean, fucking hell, I outed Alanga when he left United, saying he is shite. I know he went to Forest and they played like this counter-attacking brand and got him moved to Newcastle. He is bang average.
Yeah.
So, and then Gordon and Barnes haven't. I mean, Barnes has done all right. Gordon's not been in the races this year, so Bowen would be good competition, fits across the lines, and then again, probably similar to Strand Larson, really. Either West Ham cashing on in now, or if and when they go down, he's going to have to go at a discounted rate. So,
yeah,
maybe a good time to pick him up.
Yeah, agreed. We couldn't do this without adding Sunderland in here. I'm sure Paul will tell us that they're the greatest. That they're the greatest team to ever grace the land, and that they don't need any striker or any player, and that their centre half's now worth 100 mil.
The centre midfielder, he said, was 100 mil.
Siddiqui,
to be fair, I actually don't really think Sunderland do need a player, and I don't really know Sunderland's squad that well. And my pick, I'll be honest, is horrendous here.
Go.
It's so bad.
Go on then.
Do you know what? In fact, what position do you think I've gone for?
Again, I don't know because I don't really know their team. So, centre half.
I've gone for a midfielder.
Right.
For like a bit of a versatile midfielder who maybe could be like a backup to Xhaka if he got injured, or be like a bit of a physical presence with some Premier League experience.
Go on.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek. That is so bad.
That is bad. I thought mine was a bit fucking out there.
Yeah, I didn't know who to pick for them, and I just thought, they do well in midfield. I just thought can play like in the 10 or maybe the 8.
I forgot Loftus-Cheek was even a footballer, to be honest.
Yeah, well, exactly, mate. I was struggling for Sunderland,
Well,
really struggling.
I went for a striker,
Right.
and I went Tammy Abrahams.
All right. We're on like similar wavelengths
Similar
then.
wavelengths, yeah.
You've got problems here, haven't you?
Well, I just went Tammy Abrahams. Obviously, he's done all right over in Italy.
Has he?
Yeah, he had
How
a
many
good.
Tammy Abraham games you watched?
I've seen
Yeah,
some
same
great,
game.
seen
The
some
same
great
amount as
Twitter
fucking
highlights.
Loftus-Cheek games I've watched.
Yeah, true.
No, to be fair, I generally don't really think Sunderland need that of a player. They obviously did make a lot of good signings. So mine was purely of just like who would be a good backup or who would come in with like Prem experience, who would be like cheap because they don't need to go and spend a load of money, do they? Like,
No,
so
no.
yeah, that was just my thinking.
And then
They were
lastly,
difficult to be fair.
let's go Spurs. Apart from the fact that they need a full squad.
Yeah.
Uh,
I went Savinio from City.
right. I went. He's fucking shite.
Yeah, but
He
he's
wouldn't
another.
improve them.
Yeah, but he's well. Did you see what they had at the wing at the weekend?
Tell played there, didn't he?
And some fucking other scope I've never heard of. And they've got Xavi Simmons in the 10, who's not been at the races, and Colin Mwane, who hasn't been at the races, not scored a goal. Richarlison gets injured a lot. I just thought an attacking player who's not been playing in the Prem. Savino, another one. City spent big money on. Probably not good enough for them. Do you know, maybe go to Tottenham on loan or something. So
Yeah. I went midfield. I went Elliot Anderson, or they should go and try and sign somebody along the lines of Camavinga.
Camavinga? Fucking
Yeah.
hell. Is he starting for Real Madrid tonight?
No.
Camavinga?
That's what I mean. He doesn't
He
play.
won't go there.
Doesn't play
Yeah,
for
but he's not going to
Madrid,
go to Tottenham, is he? Fucking hell.
Oh, it's London, isn't it? You never know. It brings a bit of a draw.
Fucking hell.
But
I don't think some of them were horrendous. I mean, my United shouts with Rafinha were like ambitious. Ambitious is generous to me, but yeah, we didn't. There was only really one mention of Elliot Anderson, and obviously that was you with Spurs at the end. Quite surprising because
I think Anderson could
Chelsea.
drop into a lot of those teams that
Yeah,
we've just
definitely.
mentioned.
Yeah, that's what I was
Chelsea,
just thinking there.
Liverpool, back to
City,
Newcastle.
United.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
Newcastle.
my God. What the fuck is Vicario doing? Yeah, so that sort of ties that up. It's kind of hard to get like a debate going on who should sign who really when
Yeah,
you don't
and
watch
also a lot of the teams down at the bottom at the minute. So West Ham, Burnley, and Wolves, they've got that much shit
that you could just say new squad. Yeah.
that. But no, but I mean like if you were going to try and get a player like maybe from West Ham, Wolves, or Burnley, who are obviously like vulnerable, and you know their players are going to some of their better players are going to look to leave. Their better players are just shit as well. Like Mane's decent for Wolves, but then obviously like Paqueta's good for West Ham, but he just brings a load of baggage.
Yeah.
So
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. Right, Alex, we'll just talk about what's coming up in Feb. There's a few things starting. I'll let you take it away to start because I think the new golf season starts.
yeah, the new golf season's out. Well, just started this last weekend. The Sony Hawaii Open. It was then in the PGA Tour. Brooks Koepka, obviously, left Live, gone back to the PGA Tour, which was some big news in the golf world. And then just a big month of sport coming up. Obviously, like we're full back into the football, Champions League's back, Premier League darts is going to be back, Six Nations rugby is going to be on. The golf's just started. So, did I say Premier League darts as well?
Yeah, Premier League darts, obviously
Yeah.
the
So
golf, the
just a
Super
lot.
Bowl.
Yeah, the NFL. So yeah, just a lot of sport and a lot to talk about coming up in the next couple of weeks or so, and we're hoping to get our first guest on, aren't we, Dev, for the rugby?
Yeah, we are. We're going to try and cover a bit of the Six Nations. Obviously, we're going to have to bring a guest on to help us with that because neither me or you are huge rugby fans. So to try and talk in depth about it is going to be a bit of a struggle. But we will hopefully get our guest, who is actually a professional rugby player, a friend of ours from school. And hopefully we'll be able to get him on, and he can talk us through his journey in the professional world of rugby, and he can give us his outlook on the Six Nations coming up.
Yeah, I spoke to Morgan. Morgan Eames is the player briefly as well, and I think the episode we covered, we was talking about finances in sport as well. So it'd be interesting. He can give his perception of the finances in rugby. So like the difference between like being a Premiership rugby player and then below is like massive. So it'd be interesting to hear kind of players fighting for contracts and, fighting for the next moves and stuff like that. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, exactly, mate. And like you say, it'd be nice to hear of his journey from obviously where we left him when we left school, and the steps and teams that he's had to go through to get to the level he got to. Fingers crossed we'll be able to get that arranged and get him on sooner rather than later. But no, Alex, I think we'll have a bit of a quieter one this week. We've touched on a few subjects, like you said. But overall in sport, it has been a little bit quiet this week. The games were a bit dull. There wasn't really much to cover in the Premier League. There's been a little bit of darts on, but nothing major, so nothing really to touch. Obviously,
F1, I forgot as well. The F1 season starts again soon. So
yeah, I think that's start of March, the first race.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but to be fair, we'll get the Drive to Survive, which obviously revs everybody back up for that. And there is a bit of testing going on today. I think started the first testing. So we'll start getting to see some of the new teams. Obviously, there's a couple new teams on the block, a couple of rule changes coming up, which we'll cover obviously towards the start of that. But yeah, no, Alex, it's been fun. Like I say, I think it is 100% better to leave it this week than try and cover things for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Dortmund have just had a man sent off, so it looks like Spurs are probably going to win a game. But no,
you've gone early there.
Well, they're 1 up and they've had a man sent off, so it's
Tottenham.
It's Tottenham, yeah. But no, Alex, thanks again for this week. Thank you for everybody that has been tuning in. I know we joked earlier about the comments that I got from the Arsenal fans, but no, we really do appreciate everybody getting involved.
Arsenal fans, get back in the comments.
Yeah, I must admit it was a weird feeling to get a bit of abuse online, but at the same time, I got a little bit of a tingle and a bit of a thrive off of it. So, no, keep in those comments, and don't forget to tune into the full podcast. Again, I'm your host, Devon, and joined by Alex. And thank you very much, Alex. I'll see you again next week.
Cheers, pal. Thank you.